Muli pong nagbabalik ang DepED Hour. Ngayong gabi po ay tatampok natin ang ikalawang module sa English na ihahatid sa atin ni Binibining Glenda Estipular ng Makatbong Elementary School. Kapapalooban po ang module na ito ng aralin tungkol sa reading comprehension. Narito po ang English module number 2 ng ating Tele-Turuan.
Hello, I'm Glenda Estipular from Makatbong Elementary School. Tonight, I'm going to present the second English module in DepED's Tele-Turuan. The second module is about improving reading comprehension. Before we go to our second module, let us review what we have learned in the previous module. We have learned the subject-verb agreement. The verb must agree with the subject. Let's get started with the second module. At the end of this module, you will be able to number 1. Identify the 7 reading comprehension strategies. Number 2. Use the reading comprehension strategies in understanding a passage. What is reading comprehension? Reading comprehension is the act of understanding what you are reading. Reading comprehension is an intentional, active, interactive process that occurs before, during, and after a person reads a particular piece of writing. Without comprehension, reading is simply following words on a page from left to right while sounding them out. The words on the page have no meaning. There are 7 strategies to have a firm scientific basis for improving reading comprehension. Number 1. Questioning. When you ask questions about what you don't know and try to find the answers. When you ask questions as you read, you are not only interacting with the text to make meaning of it, but you are also monitoring your own comprehension of what you are reading. Reading with the purpose increases reading comprehension because the reader is making a personal connection with the text. Questioning facilitates this personal connection. Effective questioning should be practiced before, during, and after reading. Number 2. Predicting. When you use clues to make guesses about what you are reading. The most important prediction should come as you read the title or a headline. Other predictions may happen when you read chapter headings or subtitles. When the author of the story asks a question or when a character in the story is about to do something. Number 3. Clarifying. When you stop reading because you get confused and try to make sense of what is confusing you. Good readers stop to think about their reading and know what to do when they don't understand. Number 4. Making connections. When you think about how what you are reading relates to your life, the world around you, or what you have read. It is a proven fact that even struggling readers will do better and work longer with a text they enjoy. The key is to find a text they can connect to. Text-to-self connection is a reading comprehension strategy. They are highly personal connections that a reader makes between a piece of reading material and the reader's own experiences or life. An example of a text-to-self connection might be, "This story reminds me of a vacation we took to my grandfather's farm." In her book, I Read It, But I Don't Get It, by Christovani, offers reasons why connecting the text is an effective reading comprehension strategy. Number 1. It helps readers understand how characters feel and the motivation behind their actions. Number 2. It helps readers have a clearer picture in their head as they read, thus making the reader more engaged. Number 3. It keeps the reader from becoming bored while reading. Number 4. It sets a purpose for reading and keeps the reader focused. Number 5. Readers can see how other readers connect to the reading. Number 6. It forces readers to become actively involved. Number 7. It helps readers remember what they have read and ask questions about the text. For the 5th reading comprehension strategy, we have rereading. When you give yourself another chance to make sense of what you are reading. Repeated reading is when you read the same text over and over again until the rate of reading has no errors. This strategy can be done individually or in a group setting. This method was originally targeted for students with learning disabilities until educators realized that all students can benefit from this strategy. The purpose of this strategy is to help readers, first, understand hard words. Second, find things you did not find before. Third, help the story make sense. Fourth, make it more interesting. Fifth, help you memorize if you need to for a contest. Sixth, make you a better reader. Seventh, find words and sentences you skip. 8. Keep reading a part over and you'll get it. 9. Make reading more fun because you go over the best parts. The 6th reading comprehension strategy is visualizing. When you create pictures in your mind connected to the words you are reading. Visualizing strengthens reading comprehension skills as you gain a more thorough understanding of the text you are reading by consciously using the words to create mental images. As you gain more deliberate practice with this skill, the act of visualizing text becomes automatic. Readers who visualize as they read not only have a richer reading experience, but can recall what they have read for longer periods of time. Visualizing text as it is being read or heard also creates personal links between the readers or listeners and text. Readers who can imagine the characters they read about, for instance, may become more involved with what they are reading. This makes for a more meaningful reading experience and promotes continued reading. When selecting a text for a visualizing activity, start with a piece that contains descriptive language and strong verbs and that lends itself to conjuring vivid images. It is not necessary to start with an entire book. Even a well-crafted sentence or short paragraph can provide a rich springboard for a visualizing lesson. The 7th reading comprehension strategy is summarizing. When you take the most important information you have read and put it in your own words. Summarizing is one important lifelong skill for reading. It simply means that you are taking out all of the small details and focusing on the main ideas of the passage. There are several techniques to be used when summarizing a text, and they all stress full understanding of a text and require the reader to spot the main or major ideas in it. But before we move any further, here are some useful tips about summarizing. First, restate. That is, repeat the ideas of source in different words and phrases. 2. Do not add your own ideas, opinions, or judgment of the argument. 3. Make it shorter than the source. Before we continue our discussion on reading comprehension strategies, let us pause for a while to give way to some messages from our sponsors.